En Twitch, seguidme en Twitch, suscribiros en Twitch. Twitch, mola Twitch mola más que YouTube. Death Battle, Aang versus Edward Elric. No hay posibilidades de que Edward gane a Aang. Ya lo dije en mi anterior esto. Y según la votación, que ahora os la voy a enseñar, ¿vale? Que se me olvida eso de hacerlo de inicio, ¿vale? En la anterior Death Battle, vosotros habéis votado, espero que hayáis votado a Aang, pero Fullmetal tiene mucho fanbase. La verdad es que no lo he visto. Acabo de llegar a casa, estoy en directo en Twitch ahora, me lo acabo de poner. Y, o sea, hice el vídeo esta mañana y no paran todo el puto día. Así que, casa estoy, la verdad. Habéis votado a un 87%. Un 87% a Aang. Pobre Edward. Nadie vota, pues es que es lo lógico, o sea, no hay, vamos a poner esto revisión ya, aunque va a decir que no, pero bueno, YouTube es una puta basura de mierdas, creo que es repulsiva. Estoy sinceramente por dejar de subir vídeos de YouTube. Cada día más, cada día más y más. Y yo digo ya que si quizá el siguiente año ya no, quedando directos resubidos, pongo el título a la mierda y lo hago por culo, lo digo muy en serio. Pero bueno, ya he dicho antes, no hay posibilidades de que Aang pierda contra Edward. Ni transmutaciones ni mierda, así que a ver qué cojones se inventan, porque ni siquiera sé por qué esta pelea está, sinceramente. No sé en qué se parecen Edward a Aang. No sé, es que no sé por qué esta pelea está. Pero bueno, vamos a darle.
The elements make up every aspect of the world we live in, and no average person can tame them.
But somehow these kids can master them with a vengeance.
Like Aang, the Avatar.
And Edward Elric, the Fullmetal Alchemist.
Estás comparando elementos. Agua,
And it's our job to
tierra,
analyze their weapons,
aire,
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Y esas mierdas, pero vale, ok.
Water. Earth.
Fire.
Air.
Heart.
Once the four nations lived in harmony, and some of their citizens could
malo?
even learn to bend their nation's element. But only the Avatar could master all four, and it's their duty to protect the balance between these nations.
And since there's always gotta be an Avatar around, a new one is born whenever the last one dies.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Attempting to conquer the other three nations, the Avatar would inevitably be their greatest obstacle.
Man, they'd even go after a kid?
Living among the air nomads, Aang was an energetic and dutiful 12 years old when he learned of his destiny. He was the newest incarnation of the Avatar.
But he totally wussed out, ran away from home, and got frozen in ice for 100 years. What the hell? That's not what I'd do if I found out I was an awesome elemental badass. I'd definitely find a way to make money off that.
Boomstick, he's 12. But running away actually saved his life, as the Fire Nation knew the next Avatar would be an air nomad and slaughtered them all in a horrific surprise attack.
But the poor kid wouldn't be stuck in ice forever. He was eventually rescued by some new friends and began his quest to learn the other elements and save the world. And as an air nomad, he can really bend the wind to his will.
He can use air bending to create whirlwinds and tornadoes or slice through solid stone.
And he can fly! Whee!
Well, it's not exactly flying, Boomstick. What he actually does is manipulate the air currents to keep aloft. That's why he carries a glider, complete with snacks.
El único personaje que ha podido volar es el de Korra, el malo.
Whatever, if it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Or I guess, flying avatar guy.
But ducks actually can fly. Anyway, Aang can use air in pretty much every aspect of his life. Like for shields, increasing his speed, improving agility, adjusting his body temperature, and even focusing his breath to use as an attack.
After he learned waterbending from Paku and Katara, Aang can make whips, knives, and literal tsunamis. Hey, I can do that too. Just give me a pool and watch this cannonball fly. Does that mean I'm a waterbender?
Sure. Waterbenders can also manipulate steam and ice.
Just like how I, the great waterbender Boomstick the Wet, will use my powers to swim through this frozen block.
You what?
Yep. Waterbending 101. You can be jealous.
Oh wow, I'm just bursting with envy.
Bending powers activate! Ha! Success!
Like airbending, waterbending requires a nearby source of water to use, like a pond or a filled bottle. The same goes for earthbending, which Aang learned from his mentor Toph.
Earthbending is all about throwing rocks at people and a bunch of other cool stuff, like making walls and earthquakes and causing the ground to swallow you up, which is kind of creepy, actually.
Last but certainly not least, Aang learned the art of firebending from his longtime rival, Prince Zuko. Unlike the other arts, firebenders can actually create fire to use at will.
Firebending is so goddamn powerful. It's even got the deadliest bending technique of all, shooting lightning.
Well, only the most advanced firebenders can cast lightning, which is usually an instant kill move. While Aang never learned the move itself, he has learned how to redirect it with his body.
But even after learning the 4 elements, Aang got to meet one last master bender,
who taught him the art of manipulating a person's life energy, the purest form of bending.
It's super dangerous though, and one mistake could tear up Aang's soul.
And with it, Aang defeated the Fire
Eso se lo podía hacer a Edward para que no pueda hacer.
Well, with that and with his super form, the Avatar State.
In the Avatar State, Aang's bending abilities grow immensely powerful. This is because the Avatar State lets Aang draw upon the power and wisdom of all previous Avatar incarnations. Though it is extremely risky, as dying while in the Avatar State ends the cycle of reincarnation permanently.
Why would he care if he's dead anyway? Whatever, the coolest thing about the Avatar State is it makes you glow, like this. Behold!
How are you doing that?
Oh, I drank a bunch of glow sticks.
You need to go to the doctor, like right now.
My liver's processed way worse than this.
Well, with or without the Avatar State, Aang is plenty powerful. He has the ability to move gigantic stone columns and even carve canyons around an entire city.
Not only has he survived hits from earthbending kings and massive explosions, he threw this gigantic column of rock at the Fire Lord.
To get the column's mass, we compared Aang's height against it and determined it must weigh 9,500 tons.
Aang's super fast too. With airbending, he can run on water.
Which, given his size, requires a speed of well over 67 miles per hour.
He used airbending to block a giant column-destroying explosive attack from the best-named character on the show, Combustion Man!
And he's proven he could redirect lightning from the Fire Lord himself. Taking into account the distance between them and how far Aang's arm had to move to catch the lightning, he would have to react at least 155 times faster than sound.
He is pretty unused to violence, though.
Porque el movimiento de lanzar un rayo tiene su técnica, por lo cual puede predecirlo antes, pero bueno.
Vegetarian pacifist for crying out loud. But while he may seem like just a kid, Aang still saved the world and led it into a peaceful future. To him, bending is elementary.
If you want to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
Alchemists of old once tried to turn lead into gold with not great results. But in the country of Amestris, the ancient science of alchemy is actually possible by using the Earth's natural energy to reshape the molecular structure of various objects.
And by drawing a circle thingy.
A transmutation circle, which most alchemists use except for the youthful prodigy, Edward Elric.
Oh, yeah, what a little badass.
Careful, Boomstick, he's a bit touchy about his size.
Hey, if I lost my mom like he did, I'd get mad at the little stuff too. But Ed and his brother Alphonse figured they could bring her back with alchemy. So they went for it, but things went south real fast. You know how people say they'd give an arm and a leg for something? Well, Ed literally did, and poor Al lost his whole body. Luckily, Ed managed to stick his brother's soul in a suit of armor, but still, yikes.
This horrible experience has forever marked the two brothers. No one is meant to transmute the human soul, and the boys were lucky just to escape with their lives.
But he got something good out of it, like super secret knowledge, including how to do alchemy without a circle thingy. He just has to clap instead. So, worth it?
With these new abilities, Ed and Alphonse began their quest to restore their bodies. Specifically, they sought the incredible power of a Philosopher's Stone, believing it to be their only chance. Eventually, Ed joined the military, and thanks to his amazing potential, he was named by the Fuhrer the Fullmetal Alchemist.
What? Adolf Hitler?
Nah, it's just Bradley. He's okay. Until he isn't.
Spoilers! Also, since Ed lost a couple limbs, he got them replaced with automail, kinda like my leg.
Automail is made from incredibly durable metal, ranging from his original steel one, to a gas-powered one, to his best version consisting of a mix of aluminum and carbon. Apart from being durable metal prosthetics, Ed's automail limbs function just like normal ones. He can even reshape his arm as a weapon.
So he can turn it into swords and saws and stuff, increase its durability by hardening its makeup, or turn it into an umbrella. Ah, truly a limb of many talents.
But at the end of the day, Ed's true talent lies not in sword fighting or umbrella holding, but the art of alchemy.
He can do all sorts of crazy things with all the elements. He can basically make anything he wants, like spears and shields.
So long as he follows the rule of equivalent exchange. Anything created with alchemy must have a source of equal value and cannot be made fundamentally different. For example, lead can be molded into a statue, but it cannot be turned into water. Other than that, there are 3 principles needed to use alchemy well. Comprehension,
which means you gotta understand what the thing you're using is made of.
Destruction,
breaking stuff down.
And reconstruction.
Putting stuff back together.
Ed is only limited by the materials at hand and his imagination. At his full potential, he can do almost anything. He can purify water, create ammonium gas from ammonium nitrate, repair entire houses, and transform a gun into a trumpet.
Don't you ever try and do that with any of my guns. Anyway, Ed's also learned destruction alchemy, which does exactly what you think it does, make a big ol' kaboom. Ed's used it to destroy stuff like automail, but it can also be used to explode people's heads!
So, using destruction alchemy, Ed should be able to destroy something like this on a molecular level.
Ha!
Pero eso Edward no lo sabe hacer.
Anyway, with all of his abilities, Ed has done some incredibly impressive things.
Not only has he blocked gunfire from a Gatling gun after it started firing, he's dodged a pistol from nearly point-blank range, and his automail arm even took a bite from a lion-headed chimera. It was totally fine!
Assuming this chimera has a similar bite force to that of a real lion, that means Ed's arm stood up to a force of 1,000 pounds per square inch.
He's created a gigantic cannon, and then survived that cannon exploding while he was standing on it. And then he survived being on top of a huge boulder exploding too.
We can measure the boulder's explosion against Ed's size to get an approximate energy output. With a radius of 36 feet, this blast must have been equivalent to over 100 tons of TNT.
How's that for equivalent exchange, bitches? He also survived an explosion that took out most of a 10-story building.
Even apart from being tough, Ed has shown considerable strength when using alchemy.
Like when he created a gigantic golem to crush his opponent.
By measuring the size of the stone golem's thumb, comparing it to the size of the average human's thumb, and using that scale to estimate the size of the golem, that gives us an estimated weight of over 3,000 metric tons.
All this without any Philosopher's Stone, because it turns out those things are really, really messed up.
Right. Philosopher's Stones are extremely powerful and can be used in many different ways. Kimberly the Crimson Lotus Alchemist, for example, used one to create a massive explosion equal to 157 kilotons of TNT. However, it turns out that these stones are composed of imprisoned human souls. So Ed and Al vowed to avoid them on principle. Although Ed can boost his alchemic power in a similar manner by drawing on his own life force, increasing his potential at the cost of shortening his lifespan. But that's what Ed ultimately had to learn, what it truly means to let something go. And so he found another way to revive Al's body, sacrificing his own power for the sake of family.
Aw, what a nice guy! But all in all, so long as Ed knows what he's trying to transmute, he's an amazing force to be reckoned with.
Now let's go home. Together.
Oni-chan!
Alright, the combatants are set, and we run the data through all possibilities.
But first, thanks to Blue Apron, I've become a food bender!
By now, you've probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading meal kit delivery service in the
Battle!
No hay color. Save it.
Sorry, Momo. You're just too little.
Little!
Who are you calling a pipsqueak, you stupid hairless
Come on.
kid?
Nobody?
I'll show you!
¿Qué coño ha hecho? Ah, mira, están buscando a ambas. Dale, vamos. Atácale con aire o con agua, ya está. No ataques con tierra. O con fuego.
You know, there are actually a lot of advantages to being short. Like, you'll never hit your head on door frames, and,
I'm still growing!
Now I gotcha. Ah! Oh no! I'm sorry!
Hostia,
A
venga.
classic misdirection. That's advantage Elric!
Se dio tierra.
Damn it!
Puede volar, puede esquivar.
How's this
No
for
hay
small?
posibilidades. ¿Por qué?
What kind of alchemy is that?
Magia.
Okay, no more clappy magic.
Clappy magic. A la mierda, loco.
Uh-oh.
¿Cómo no?
My cabbages!
¿Cómo no? ¿Cómo no?
I won't lose
Tenían que
you.
ponerlo. Porque no hace falta. Ah, vale, no. Vale, pensaba que pues en modo batalla.
Nice try, shorty!
No puedo hacer. Bueno, no, sí, me ha hecho un. Modo avatar, venga.
Can't believe that worked.
Modo avatar. No hace falta el modo avatar con Tyler, pero bueno. Como no, referencia a la pelea.
This ends now.
No hace falta, es overkill. Es puto overkill. Venga, los cuatro de Texas por Corea.
At least I'm taller than you.
You left me no choice.
¿Cómo que no, choice?
Looks like Ed didn't have a leg to stand on. Or arm, I guess.
Ed may have been more quick-witted and inventive, and he certainly had more combat experience. But Aang's bending abilities were far more versatile and readily available than combat alchemy.
Yeah, it had cool stuff like cannons and gun trumpets, but Aang was fast enough to react to lightning, which is way faster than dodging a measly bullet.
Recall how Ed survived an explosion that destroyed most of a 10-story building. By examining the size of the building and thus the volume of the conical explosion, this blast must have equaled about 30 kilotons of TNT.
That's cool, but Aang did way more when he carved up a circle around that city in Avatar State.
The force to blast such a huge ravine around the city of Yudao was a massive undertaking. By measuring the width, length, and depth of the affected area compared to the size of the city, we found it would take almost 160 kilotons of
Pero
TNT
no es
to
en modo
pull that
avatar,
off.
da igual.
More than 5 times greater than Ed's best durability feat. So Aang definitely had the stuff to crush Ed's automail arm, and the rest of him.
Granted, Ed could reach this sort of power by sacrificing his life force. Remember Kimbley's explosion, the one empowered by a Philosopher's Stone, a blast worth 157 kilotons of TNT? That's almost identical to Aang's feat, and theoretically, Ed could have been capable of this level of power. Theoretically. However, a Philosopher's Stone uses many souls, while Ed could only draw from his one. Not to mention, drawing from his own life force meant his power-up had a very short and dangerous duration limit compared to the Avatar state, which has no such limit. But even so, Ed's tactics and creativity kept him in the fight, yet the Avatar's speed, power, and versatility was too much for him. Aang may be a pacifist in canon and would hardly kill anyone, but unleashing his full power is a sight to behold.
No mató
Just when
al
Ed
puto
thought he
que
had the hang of it, he alchemist the mark.
The winner is Avatar Aang.
Ah, no voy a avanzar, vale.
Thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below.
And if you'd like to see some more battle and death, make sure to click the link over there.
Let's ride.
Lobo, uno de los pocos que le puede partir la cara a Superman. Vale. Vale.
Have you heard of him?
Vale. Lobo gana. O sea, a ver. Aquí, por desgracia, no puedo decir... Es que no conozco mucho a Ghost Rider, ¿vale? Me sé muy poco de Ghost Rider. También puedo decir que las películas no hacen nada... O sea, decir que las películas de Ghost Rider son malas... Está malo, son horribles, es insultante a Ghost Rider, ¿vale? Es insultante, Ghost Rider es absurdamente poderoso, ¿vale? Absurdamente poderoso, pero es que Lobo es Lobo. Lobo es... Que Lobo puede con Superman. O sea, es absurdo. Y es un capullo integral. Lobo gana. Sinceramente yo creo que Lobo ganará. Pero bueno, ya votáis aquí quién crees que va a ganar la siguiente. ¿Lobo es inmortal? Hasta ahí no sé si es cierto eso, pero bueno. Bueno, Ghost Rider técnica... Bueno, Ghost Rider es un... Da igual. La pelea, sinceramente, no me ha gustado. Hablo de la animación. No. O sea, han hecho a Edward aguantar mucho como defendiéndose, cuando lo que tenían que haber hecho es Aang no atacando, porque Aang es pacifista. Aang no mató al villano final porque no quería matar a nadie y tuvo que darle el poder. Y hubiera sido así simplemente la pelea, no matado, aunque son Death Battle, lo sé, pero es que Aang no mata a Ozai, ¿vale? Porque Aang no mata a nadie. Le tenía que haber quitado los poderes. Pero bueno. Y así no hacía nada. Pero bueno. Encima, la overkill que le ha hecho con el modo avatar. Le gana sin modo avatar. Le gana con cualquier cosa. Apenas ha hecho el control del aire. No ha atacado con aire. Porque en el momento de atacar con aire no hace una mierda. O sea, como mucho puede con agua y con tierra, Edward. Pero cuando te mete con fuego, con aire, a ver qué mierda hace. ¿Vale? No puede. Y... ¡Ah! ¡Aire! ¡Transfórmate en aire! ¿Vale? No hay posibilidades de que Edward ganase este combate. Y las explicaciones de mierda que han hecho de ¡aguanta una explosión del otro! ¡Qué mierda! Es poder puro y duro esta pelea. Es poder puro y duro. Ni durabilidad ni mierdas. Es poder puro y duro. Edward no tiene nada con lo cual pueda matar a Aang. A secas. Emma también puede dejar... Bueno, eso no lo hace... Lo de la burbuja de aire, de quitar el aire para hacer eso, no lo hace... hacen en Korra. Y repito, lo han nerfeado. Aang puede estar más roto en modo adulto. Pero bueno. ¿Y por qué no aprendió... Todd no ha aprendido a controlar al metal o controlar la sangre, si no estaría rotísimo ya. Como Korra. Qué asco de Korra, Dios, qué rota está. Pero bueno. No sé, no me ha gustado mucho este combate, simplemente. No. Pero bueno. La verdad es que esas cosas, me despido. Yo.